What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Checking in, coming at y'all guys, with a video for the day. Finna talk, some sports with y'all guys. So, for this video, man, we got Jimmy Haslam on the roster, the Cleveland Brown head coach, and we got that boy sheduer Sanders on the roster. So, sheduer Sanders fans, they are in a frenzy right now because, the head coach Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam, came out. He basically, said some words to the press that wasn't, good for sheduer. So, man, let's take a look at what Jimmy Haslam had to say about sheduer.
We have good process, okay? And if you'd have told me, let's see, we picked him on Saturday, right? Friday night driving home, y'all are going to pick sheduer, I would say that's not happening. But we had a conversation early that morning, and then we had a conversation later that day. I think we had the right people involved in the conversation. At the end of the day, that's Andrew Berry's call. Andrew made the call to pick sheduer. Just like who's going to start or what play we're going to call is Kevin's call. But that's Andrew's call. He made the call.
So, man, y'all just seen what Jimmy Haslam had to say about sheduer. He basically said, sheduer, he wasn't in favor of picking sheduer, and if he had something to do with it, the Cleveland Browns would have never picked sheduer Sanders, right? And boy, when he said that, sheduer fans, they went crazy. How is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns throwing sheduer Sanders, one of his own players, up under the bus? But I'm here to clarify, what Jimmy Haslam was saying, because a whole lot of people, y'all just don't understand what he's saying when he said, if it was up to him, he would have never picked sheduer. So I'm finna clarify what the guy was actually saying, right? So the reason why Jimmy Haslam said if it was up to him, he would have never picked sheduer, it's the same reason why, sheduer Sanders fell to the 5th round, right? And Jimmy Haslam saying, he wouldn't pick sheduer has nothing to do with sheduer talent, right? It's had nothing to do with sheduer talent and, sheduer Sanders being a great quarterback. It has everything to do with the media, the fans, the attention that sheduer Sanders bring. That's why the guy said, he wouldn't never pick sheduer Sanders. That's why sheduer Sanders fell to the 5th round. Because NFL franchises, they are scared of drafting a guy like sheduer. I'm going to be honest, man, like right now, sheduer Sanders, he's almost bigger than the NFL. He's almost bigger than the NFL. And I'm going to tell you another guy who right now he's not on the NFL roster because he got where he felt like he was bigger than the NFL. Cam Newton. Right now, Cam Newton is not on the NFL roster, not because of his talent, because he's developed a personality where he feel like he's bigger than the NFL. And I'm going to say this, man, like, ain't nobody bigger than the program. Once you become that type player where, you feel like you bigger than the NFL, you got your own fan base, your own fan base, that your fan base, they checking in whatever team you go to, and, they want everything to go the way that benefit you as a player. And the NFL don't work like that. The NFL is a business. The NFL don't work like that. Those type of players like that, they don't last long in the NFL. You know, and sad to say, man, like sheduer Sanders, like he haven't played one snap in the NFL, man, and he's already one of those type players. You know, and I don't think it have nothing to do with sheduer Sanders. It just the fans, the media that make, you know, it bad. Because you got a franchise like the Cleveland Browns, you know, they not trying to just evaluate sheduer Sanders. They trying to evaluate Joe Flacco. They trying to evaluate Dylan Gabriel. You know, they trying to evaluate the offensive lineman. They trying to evaluate, you know, the defensive lineman. They trying to evaluate the cornerback. They trying to evaluate every player they have. They trying to evaluate every player they have, right, to get their team ready to have a productive NFL season, right? But all over the media, what you see? sheduer Sanders not getting 13 reps. sheduer Sanders didn't get no reps. He walked off the field. sheduer Sanders did. sheduer Sanders that. And listen, man, all of that, man, is a team killer. You know, all that attention, man. Listen, man, NFL franchise try to stay away from that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like right now, the media is sheduer Sanders' worst enemy right now. Because the more they talk about sheduer Sanders, the more team franchises are gonna want to get rid of him, you know, because they just don't want to deal with the headache. You know, what's gonna happen, you know, when the season starts and sheduer Sanders not starting. You know, now guess what the media gonna do the whole season? They gonna be coming up with different things to say on why sheduer Sanders is not starting. You know? And I'm going to just say this, man, like, as a rookie quarterback, you know, I don't think it is in your best interest to play early. I think the best rookie quarterbacks, the best situation they can be in is where they can come in, you know, and just, you know, be around a veteran quarterback. You know, Joe Flacco. He ain't got to teach sheduer nothing. sheduer can just watch him. You know, how do you learn? You learn by watching and you learn by hearing. He ain't got to tell sheduer nothing. sheduer Sanders just sit back and watch him and just soak up just how he move. Joe Flacco has won a championship. He know what it takes, right? All sheduer Sanders got to do is watch him. You know, watch how he move, watch how he go about handling his business, become a pro. And, you know, when he really ready, his time will come. You know, Tom Brady didn't play off the rip. You know, Tom Brady sat behind Drew Bledsoe. You know, Tom Brady got his chance. He didn't look back, and the rest is history. You know, the worst thing that some quarterbacks do is playing when they first come in the league. That's the first thing they do, because they throw these quarterbacks out there when they not ready, right? And when they throw them out there when they not ready, they look mediocre, you know. And some of those guys, man, they never bounce back, you know. They have, you know, some trouble from the start. Then they go to second guessing their talent, and, you know, if they really can be successful in the league, the next thing you know, 2 or 3 years, man, they out the league. You don't hear from them again because they throw guys out there in the fire before they were ready. So I just wish, you know, the media, they would kind of like back off sheduer and let the guy develop. But, man, that's all I got for this video. Y'all tap into what y'all think. You know, like the video, share the video, leave your comment, and I'll see y'all guys in the video. Yo.